Coming up, Tzu Chi volunteers in Jordan carried out a relief distribution in Amman. We learn more about the Wildlife First Aid Station in Taiwan and learn what it is like to work there. Welcome to DaAi Headlines. I'm Helen Liao. Thank you for joining us. To assist Syrian refugees in Jordan, local Tzu Chi volunteers have been visiting them to distribute financial aid and baby formulas. Such efforts have eased the suffering faced by the refugees in this foreign land. Let's join the volunteers on their most recent aid distribution.
The people who have come to get Tzu Chi's monetary aid are Syrian refugees in Amman.
He broke his legs.
It is not easy for these refugees who have fled their war-ravaged homeland to believe that there is still love in this world. However, Tzu Chi volunteers are showing them that love is endless and is everywhere.
Tzu Chi, how come can in the whole world the compassion and the giving is from this, the spirit of the bamboo.
Turning to Rentha City, some Syrian children joined a singing class organized by the visiting volunteers. In the meantime, the adults receive baby formulas from the volunteers, who also help the children return to school.
These two students have received our scholarship aid.
Driven out of their home by war, the refugees found love and friendship in Tzu Chi volunteers, who will see them through these tough times.
In response to the refugee crisis in Europe, Munich, Germany has become the first stop for many asylum seekers. Doing their best to help, Tzu Chi volunteers in Germany visit a refugee shelter on a regular basis, bring their signature love and care. Recently, the volunteers got word that a family from Macedonia will be deported. Therefore, the volunteers seized time to provide them with much-needed love and care.
Being conveniently located, Munich, Germany is often the first stop for refugees seeking asylum. After they get off the train, a shuttle bus immediately takes them to a temporary shelter 90 kilometers away, where they await for the approval of their status from the government.
There are a few refugees from African countries downstairs, 2 from Macedonia, 1 from Kosovo. Some are from Afghanistan, Iraq, and Syria, making a total of 170 people.
Singing folk songs from their country, the refugees force a smile with tears in their eyes. The father of this family from Macedonia says the shelter is too humid and damp, causing his daughter's asthma to act up.
She has severe asthma. The other one is her younger brother. This couple has 4 children, but they told me they are being deported.
Kleidung. Ja,他说谢谢给每一样啦，每一样。
As Macedonia is now ravaged by war, the German government will be deporting these Macedonian asylum seekers. Bringing much-needed warmth, Tzu Chi volunteers in Germany seized time to provide care for them.
In Thailand, Cambodian refugee Boran and his family of 9 found shelter in a dilapidated house, which cannot protect them from the elements. Since Boran's father is bedridden and the house gets flooded on rainy days, Tzu Chi volunteers lend a helping hand to repair the house.
This dilapidated house is where Cambodian refugee Boran and his family of 9 called home. Since Boran's father is in a vegetative state, his children worry for him whenever it rains.
This cannot be considered as a house. It is a straw house or hut. On rainy days, in half an hour, the flood water will reach my father's bed.
Learning of Boreng's situation, local Tzu Chi volunteers brought a doctor here after delivering daily supplies. Next, they worked to repair and raise the house. In addition, the volunteers also repaired the rusted iron bed frame that Boreng's father lies on.
Our family is delighted thanks to Tzu Chi volunteers. My younger brother and I finally have our own rooms. Besides that, my father feels more comfortable and we no longer have to worry on rainy days.
Reaching out to refugees who are often neglected by society, Tzu Chi volunteers have given them hope to face the future in foreign land.
As it is nearing the upcoming winter aid distribution in China, local Tzu Chi volunteers travel to different areas to conduct their preliminary home visitations. Recently, those in Nanjing visited Xinqiao and Chengbian village to visit 91 impoverished families.
Suffering from a throat injury and needing a steel tube to help her breathe, Zhu Chunfeng has not been able to speak for the past 7 years. As the volunteers pay her a visit, Zhu gets an idea. The crooked writing expresses the deepest gratitude and love.
Can you read this? She said to tell you thank you because she can't say it. She wants us to say it to you on her behalf. We can see that you have taken such good care of her.
Zhu's husband, Bian Liushen, only had a nail removed from his left leg a year ago, which sat there since his car accident 8 years ago. In spite of the string of misfortunes, Bian stays by his wife's side.
The doctors resuscitated her twice at the hospital. Otherwise, she wouldn't be here today. This is really the first time that she said a word of thanks. In the past 8 years, this is really the first time.
Visiting 91 families in Xinqiao and Chengbian villages ahead of the winter relief distributions, Tzu Chi volunteers are determined to bring warmth to these desolate areas in the days ahead.
Next on our Noteworthy Doctors in Taiwan series, we meet 78-year-old Li Senjia of Yuli Tzu Chi Hospital. Among the first to join the Southern Taiwan Tima chapter, Dr. Li had wanted to devote himself to volunteer work after retiring at 65, but after learning that the remote Yuli Tzu Chi Hospital in eastern Taiwan was in need of surgeons, he once again donned on his white coat.
Dr. Li Senjia of Yuli Tzu Chi Hospital is being recognized by Taiwan Medical Association. The 78-year-old doctor has been saving lives for over 5 decades.
Being a doctor is about responsibility and duty. You gotta do what you must and not do it for money.
Dr. Li originally practiced medicine in his own clinic in Gangshan, Kaohsiung. One of the first to join the Southern Timor chapter, he has served in numerous free clinics, domestic or abroad.
Dr. Li is really like a bodhisattva. Wherever there is a chance to serve or a free clinic, he will be there to offer himself to help all those in need.
Originally, Dr. Li had closed down his clinic and retired, devoting himself completely to volunteer work. But after learning that the Yuli Tzu Chi Hospital was understaffed, he put on his white coat again in 2009.
He saw the needs of remote areas. Although he was already retired, he still decided to come here to share his love with people of Yuli.
Besides holding regular clinics, every Thursday afternoon, Dr. Li will go on house calls in Yuli's remote areas.
He devotes himself to making house calls in remote areas to bring love to seniors living there.
In 2011, Dr. Li discovered that he suffered from stage 4 lung cancer. Though currently undergoing targeted therapy, Dr. Li continues his regular work hours at the hospital.
We are doctors. We tell patients to face this calmly, right? So now that I'm in the same situation, I need to be able to do the same, right? Otherwise, I'm not following my own advice.
Cherishing the right to use his life, Dr. Li has made serving those in need his life's mission and will continue sharing his love with those in need for as long as he's able to.
In Jiji, Nantou of central Taiwan sits the Endemic Species Research Institute. Inside the institute is the Wildlife First Aid Station, which cares for all kinds of injured animals. Here's more.
The Wildlife First Aid Station of Endemic Species Research Institute in Jiji is always busy, for there are too many injured animals that need looking after. The Formosan rock macaque is now alive and well, but 3 months ago it was brought here due to serious head trauma.
It lay there lifeless and unconscious. We gave it intravenous therapy, and when it could move its tongues, we started feeding it liquid food.
After saving the macaque's life, Dr. Xiao has to give it physical therapy through massaging its arms and even utilizing acupuncture as well. He says caring for animals is just like caring for children.
Yesterday, I had to care for 2 bats, so I had to get up in the middle of the night several times to feed them. Once at 1 a.m., then 3 a.m., then 6 a.m. And still, I had to start working at 8 this morning. I'm a father all year round.
All kinds of animals can be found here. In another room, a non-venomous beauty rat snake appeared to have been assaulted by humans. 2 veterinarians are trying to give it an injection.
The first reaction from people when they see a snake is to beat it to death. So the areas we had bandaged all suffered serious lacerations.
Besides reptiles and mammals, there are also plenty of birds here. When feeding an injured bird, one must be extremely gentle and must pay attention to the bird.
When an animal is recovering slowly, you must be even more patient.
By being patient, caring, and professional, staff at the station manage to save animals' life. But when they have recovered, they can only be released with proper training. In this cage, a caretaker is training a crested serpent eagle, while in another cage, several young swifts and light-vented baubles, who are here mostly because they have fallen out of their nests, are learning to fly.
When they fall out of their nests, if they are weak, they typically won't be able to fly back in. So when we train them, we start by placing them on the ground.
While learning to fly, this youngling just can't seem to get away from Chen. At times like this, a caretaker must be tough.
As it has grown attached to humans, it will want to stay by our side, which is not a good thing.
An unwritten rule of the station is that animals can't be given nicknames, so staff here won't grow attached to them. "16 people work here and they have over 1,000 animals to look after. Though funding is limited, they still have to do their best for their patients. What is more difficult is to remain sensible and indifferent as they release the animals back into the wilderness. It is with this passion and a sense of duty that the staff can continue to do what they do here."
A fourth grader at Baoshan Elementary School in Kaohsiung, Yushen is a great help to her parents as her father is physically disabled, leaving her mother to be the family's breadwinner. The young girl helps take care of her younger siblings after she comes home and cooks for the family. Once elected as a model student at school, this year Yushen was awarded the Tzu Chi New Shoe Scholarship.
I'll wipe it clean, then I'll give it to you. Give me the other hand.
Like a young mother, Yushen helps wipe her younger sister down. After the fourth grader comes home from school, she then cleans her home and looks after her younger siblings. Cooking is easy for Yushen. Because her father is disabled, the family depends on her mother who works odd jobs. When her mother goes to work, Yushen has to take care of her family.
When I go to work, she'll say, "Mom, can I go with you? I can make extra $100 to $200.
If I'm in pain somewhere, she will tell the nurse to take care of my pain.
I'm happy to take care of my brother and sister and do household chores for my mom."
The family couldn't afford to provide Yushen with a desk and a lamp, so she used to lie on the floor to do her homework. When Tzu Chi volunteers saw this, they brought them with her immediately.
I was shocked to see her lying on the floor and doing her homework. I asked her if her eyes were okay, and she said she is nearsighted. Now I have a desk and a table lamp. I don't need to lie face down on the floor to do my homework.
Though doing chores takes up most of Yushen's time, she never slacks on her studies. She even received a Tzu Chi New Shoe Scholarship for her academic achievement.
She always finishes her homework at home. After finishing it, she will check to make sure she finishes everything. That's why I like her a lot.
As Baoshan Elementary School has only 10 students, once when a company wanted to give every student a scholarship, most students chose to spend the money on buying shoes or bikes. Only Yushen used it in a different way.
She said she still has younger siblings, so she needed formulas to give them extra nutrients. It showed how compassionate and caring she is to her siblings.
Yushen once was elected as a model student and also received the Filial Piety Award from Kaohsiung City. As the eldest daughter, Yushen wants to be a good helper to her parents and a role model for her siblings.
Former patient at the Tzu Chi Dialysis Center in Penang, Malaysia, Lu Ai-de used to be very shy. However, inspired by Tzu Chi's ideals, Lu decided to dedicate herself to the practice of recycling and help spread the organization's philosophy to the public. Recently, Lu traveled to Taiwan, where she received her volunteer certification.
I hope to recruit more community residents and inspire kindness in more people.
This is Lu Ai-de, who is always shy when engaging with others. However, she bravely overcame her shyness to better spread Tzu Chi's ideals to the public. A former patient of the Tzu Chi Dialysis Center in Penang, Malaysia, Lu decided to join Tzu Chi to repay the organization's kindness.
I was a dialysis patient. Now I help those in need because I have received a lot of help from others in the past. I believe practicing recycling is a good way to support the dialysis center.
Carefully sorting through recyclables, Lu not only dedicates herself wholeheartedly to the practice, but also inspired her sister to follow suit. Seeing the transformation in her sister has encouraged Lu Ai-ping to walk steadfast on the Tzu Chi path.
My sister devotes herself to Tzu Chi's missions, even in spite of her health problems. She continues to give relentlessly. My sister is a good role model for volunteers back home.
In 2014, the Cameron Highlands in Pahang was struck by mud floods due to heavy monsoon rains. Back then, Lu Ai-de and her fellow counterparts traveled to the area to help residents clean up their homes. However,
it was raining really hard when we were distributing relief items at the residential district. Local residents told us to run for our lives. When we got out of the house, we saw that the road was already flooded.
After witnessing suffering firsthand, Lu has learned to cherish her own blessings and seize every opportunity to participate in Tzu Chi activities. Now a certified volunteer, Lu Ai-de says she will shoulder even more responsibilities and promises to inspire goodness in more people. On the third day of the second 2015 Overseas Volunteers Training Camp held at the Tzu Chi Central grounds, the department head of Tzu Chi Humanitarian Center shared about their work and expressed their gratitude for media volunteers around the world.
We document the footprints of Tzu Chi volunteers and bear witness to the changes of this era.
On the third day of the second 2015 Overseas Volunteers Training Camp, DaAi TV's department heads talk about how the media can generate a positive force. On the screen are video clips of Tzu Chi's disaster relief work, filmed by media volunteers.
We are proud that media volunteers have given us their biggest support. Because of them, DaAi News is different from that of other channels. Let's give them a round of applause.
More than 300 camp attendees are deeply moved, seeing the efforts of overseas media volunteers.
We are very excited. I feel that we have chosen the correct path to follow in the Master's footsteps.
In
Tacloban City, the previous Typhoon Haiyan, I personally also rescued a person who has those skin burns, and I treated her. She got a letter from that girl thanking me.
Seeing how stories of love can generate a positive influence, the overseas volunteers are also ready to do their share to help spread stories of compassion and goodness.
A group of volunteers in Selangor, Malaysia report to the Tzu Chi Serdang retreat every morning to watch the Master's daily sermon. At the most recent study session, after the morning of self-cultivation, volunteers also organized a small celebration for the month's birthday stars.
Long before sunrise, a group of volunteers make their way to the Tzu Chi Serdang retreat in Selangor. Volunteers listen intently to the Master's teachings with the hope that the Dharma can cleanse them of their inner afflictions. Despite the volunteers' busy schedules, they nevertheless make time for self-cultivation. This time around, volunteers organized a small celebration for this month's birthday stars. Caring for counterparts like their own family, volunteers hope to get more people to join them in the morning Dharma study sessions.
Waking up at dawn to watch the Master's sermon is a great initiative. Since this is an event everyone wants to be a part of, we thought it would be a great idea to combine it with our birthday celebrations to get more people to participate.
I give my mother a hug on my birthday each year. The Master always reminds us how mothers suffered a great deal of pain in giving birth to their children.
Tzu Chi volunteer Xu Yanping only has one wish for her birthday this year, and that is for more people to join in the morning study sessions.
This is a convenient way to get everyone together to watch the Master's morning sermon. It's a great opportunity to cultivate our wisdom together.
Younger volunteers also serve tea to senior volunteers to show their gratitude and appreciation. And today, not only have these volunteers cultivated their wisdom, they have also been brought closer together through the occasion.
We go to Beijing, China at the end of the show, where the Tzu Chi Foundation held an exhibition to showcase its eco-friendly products and most importantly, recruit more people to walk the Bodhisattva path. We'll leave you with these images. Thank you for watching DaAi Headlines. Goodbye.